We're going to go live, and go.
What's up, fight fans? Welcome to another edition of Split Decision MMA, your weekly MMA podcast brought to you from 209 in Modesto, California, live from the SinCal studios here inside of SinCal Industries. Sort of live, maybe live, we don't know yet.
I think we're
latency live.
We're way ahead. So, because look, you were staring at your phone.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens, yeah.
Coming in from SinCal Industries, your home for all your piercing, tattoo, smoking, accessory, vinyl sticker needs here in Modesto, California. We are here to break down all the news, all the rumors.
I'm going to be a little off for a second while I try to get everything out to Facebook.
Fight predictions, recaps, everything that happened in the wide world of mixed martial arts over the past week. We obviously will be talking about UFC 246 today and the fallout that is of that. There are some news. There are a couple of fighter announcements, things going on. But 246 will be the majority of the show. And then, of course, we got a preview. We got fights. UFC Fight Night is this weekend. We have UFC, what is that, Fight Night? Blades versus Dos Santos, 166, which is going out of Raleigh, North Carolina. And then Bellator with Cyborg making her debut. Here at Split Decision, we are brought to you by healthlabs.com. That's healthlabs.com, providing you fast, private, and affordable blood work for MMA fighters for as low as $79. You order your tests, you choose one of the local 4,500 accredited labs, you go in, get your tests done, you get your results in 24, 72 hours. It is that easy. No appointments needed, no insurance, no copay, no hidden fees, fast, affordable blood work from healthlabs.com. Split Decision is also brought to you by FuegoBox.com. FuegoBox is an amazing hot sauce of the month club where they send you 1 to 3 new hot sauces every single month directly to your door. FuegoBox scours the earth looking for new small batch hot sauces that are handcrafted and have dynamic taste as well as heat. Go to FuegoBox.com, enter the code MMA News 10 and get $10 off of your subscription right now. You can buy the sauces individually or sign up for the monthly box. Get 1 to 3 hot sauces delivered to your door. Going to FuegoBox.com, code word MMA News 10.
MMA News 10 at FuegoBox.com.
Let's get into the news. Let's get into some things that are going on here. Thiago Alves. Last week, we talked about Thiago Alves.
What was him? What was he going to do?
Where was he going to do? We said maybe coaching would be a great job for him. He did not like the PFL offer that apparently was offered to him. I'm not quite sure if Bellator offered him an offer. However, he has signed with BKFC, that's Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. He is going to be a bare knuckle fighter.
Huh?
What do you think about this? I like Thiago Alves. Thiago Alves was 23-15 in MMA. 13 of those 23 wins were by knockout.
Right.
He was known for being a heavy kickboxer. He had great knees, great kicks. His hands, however, they were good, but only if you look at his knockouts. While he'd had 13 knockouts, right?
Right.
Only 5 of them were from punches alone.
Punches? Oh, right.
So that means in other ones, he used knees or head kicks or a combination of knees and punches.
Get in how you fit in,
You're not going to be able to do that in bare knuckle. I kind of wonder.
Yeah, but he don't have to worry about the other guy kicking him either.
True. And his jiu-jitsu is actually pretty good, but it's not something else you have to worry about.
You can't use jiu-jitsu. I just thought, in my opinion, we've seen some guys try to use their jiu-jitsu in the bare knuckle, right? And it was awkward. Charging people, trying the headbutt. I mean, it was awkward.
I feel like I like Thiago Alves enough that he should have done maybe more of a kickboxing bout, maybe sign with Glory, maybe go over to one where they do kickboxing. I think he would just fit in a little bit. I still like him just as a coach. I don't know how well he's going to be doing, but obviously they're offering him a big payday.
Right.
And I think that's why a lot of guys sign with bare knuckle is the payday.
Well, okay, so on my end of it, through the forums and then talking to other people, by him signing with these people, he's not signing away his ability to sign with any other MMA platform. Right. This is cash on hand right now.
That's why I feel a lot of people are signing with bare knuckle. We got Bellator fighter
Rowdy Beck. Rowdy Beck's bouncing back and forth between bare knuckle and Bellator, MMA. Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Now you got Bellator fighter David Rickles.
Christine Varela, the girl from here, doing the same thing, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
David Rickles, former Bellator fighter, has signed with Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. This one, though, kind of makes me wonder because while he was pretty decent in MMA, he's 21-6. That's a very nice record.
Right.
4 of those 6 losses were by knockout. I don't necessarily know if you want to be going into bare knuckle when you get knocked out in 4 of the 6 of your losses.
No.
I mean, good for David Rickles. Take that payday. It just seemed like it was a little bit of an odd choice to choose bare knuckle over continuing doing MMA. That was just my opinion.
But again, can we look how his knockouts were? What if he was kicked a lot?
How he got knocked out?
What if he was kicked a lot? Then that's what he. Then he don't have to worry about
He got knocked out by MVP. He got knocked out by Michael Chandler. He got knocked out by Patrick Kafiri. He got knocked out by Michael Chandler again.
Knees and punches, knees and punches.
No.
Illegal knee.
No. Look at the losses, sir. The losses. Retirement. Punches.
Right.
Punches.
I see that.
Punches. Not how he won. I'm talking about how he lost.
Okay. They don't have the losses, huh? We'd have to look up the other side.
Yeah, it says he lost by punches right there. Punches. He lost by punches right there. He lost by punches right there.
Okay.
I'm
trying to deny it.
Trying to help David out.
I'm trying to help him out. I like his last name and his grandfather. Don. Anyway.
Moving on from there. Robert Whittaker was out of his fight. We talked about that last week for personal reasons. Personal reasons are why he had to pull out of his UFC fight. Recently, there have been rumors swirling this week that Robert Whittaker is such a good guy and we should not be talking about it because he had to pull out of his fight because he was donating bone marrow to one of his daughters.
Yeah, I mean, what do you...
However...
Uh-oh.
Robert Whittaker on Instagram posted, "Do not believe any rumors. Picture of his daughters. We are doing fine."
Oh, no.
So we don't know if that is what has actually happened or happening at all. But a lot of people took this rumor that they heard, reported it as fact, and ran with it, which happens in this sport along with other news sources.
There's just not a lot. There's not a lot of news, I guess.
Yeah.
People need to make their own fodder.
Posted a picture of his daughter and said, "Don't listen to the rumors." So time will tell. Again, of course, Dana White said, look, if you want to find out what happened and why he's not fighting, you talk to him. He can release that. I will not release that. So anyway, moving on from there. John Jones has claimed he is switching to a 90% plant-based vegan diet.
Okie dokie.
And he gives his fiance credit for that, saying that she got him into the lifestyle. And there are rumors he is doing this because he blames someone in his camp, either his former nutritionist, his weight specialist, somebody that was helping with his diet, for the spiking picograms of that steroid that he's been busted for multiple times.
Oh, someone's been slipping it to him?
He claims that he blames them for whatever they were feeding him is the reason it kept pulsing, and it would have been out of his system, but because of the diet they had him on, that was why it keeps pulsing.
The diet of more picograms.
Now that he is switching to a 90%
I'm not making a statement. I'm saying that's a question.
Yeah, 90% plant-based diet that he believes that it will stop the pulsing.
Okay.
Unless the other 10% is picograms. I'm just saying, unless the other 10% is picograms.
Yeah, that's what I understand. So, like we were saying, he is now a picogram creator.
Possible.
Like people who get so drunk that they're now obviously a brewery.
Yeah, it's quite possible that it's because of his diet.
So, I mean, he's a turnable
machine.
Okay. And that's not our words.
This is like BioShock, where they put in the slugs
reality
into the little girls, and then they created Adam, and they created this whole thing.
Yeah, we are
He might be able to create picograms in his stomach because he has a slug in there that was given to him from a dietitian or something, and now he's going to go non-slug diet. He's going all plant diet, and he's not going to be able to produce picograms anymore. We have no idea. We're not scientists or medically trained. However, this is the rumor that is out there. The rumor, it's not a rumor that he's going 90% plant-based, but it is a rumor he believes his previous diet was the cause of some of his issues.
But it's the truth. He's going 90% plant-based. He can't go wrong. Have you seen some of the bulls in these yards? When you drive in and out from your rural area to here, and think all they eat is hay and grain, and they are huge.
Allegedly,
they are huge.
They eat just hay and grain.
Yeah. What you think? They're sneaking gophers everywhere? Picograms. John Jones out there feeding the cows, man, up and down the coast. Get swole. Get swole.
Paige Van Zandt has refractured her arm again.
Did she, though?
She is going to be out of her fight March 14th with Amanda Ribas. I believe Randa Marcos is stepping in for Paige Van Zandt. Paige Van Zandt is out again. Same right arm. She's already had 3 surgeries in 2 years on this arm. She claims, however, it's not as bad as everybody expects, that it's only going to take 6 to 8 weeks this time.
Okay, so... Can I come from Formlandia yet?
This is also her last fight in her contract. Does the UFC cut her because of this?
I don't know, but I'm just telling you from somebody from Formlandia.
Yeah, where's your hat?
Well, yeah. I don't even want to put the hat on for this one, but they said that for I think he said $47 he can wrap my arm to.
Yeah. Put on a fake cast.
Your words?
Are you saying
no?
No, I'm saying
No, it would be a real cast. He would.
So for $47 you can get a cast put on.
I can have a cast put on my arm.
Regardless if you have an injury or not.
That's not the issue. I was just telling you.
For $47, if you have an injury or not, you could get a cast.
I could get for $47. Ergo, anything involving an injury, $47, I could have a cast.
You will own a cast.
I will own a cast. There you go. Not insinuating anything, but from Formlandia, the guy let me know, $47. He too can put a cast on my arm.
Yeah, I don't know what this does.
No doctor's note, though.
I don't know what this does. She has doctor's note saying that it will be ready to fight in May.
That one's maybe... I'm not even going to insinuate.
They said that they
probably $100.
Broke through a screw hole where the plate is, and the third break was in the third spot. She needs to adjust her training now that she has a permanent plate in. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if the UFC just says, you know what, juice is not worth the squeeze. You can just go.
You've been saving that one.
You can just go.
You've been saving. That was a good one. That's good.
You know what I mean? You could just go and they just let her out of her contract. Or if she does get that fight in May, we'll see what happens with Paige VanZant. Let us know if you're watching now, or if you're watching later, or if you're listening now or listening later, whether or not you think Paige VanZant, A, gets the last fight in her contract and or needs to be let go at this time for the third time she's broke her arm. That's
awesome. You compared her to a taco truck lime in December. And anybody who's had limes from a taco truck in December, no
that
juice.
is it from the current news. However, we do have a lot of fallout from UFC 246 that happened over the weekend.
Is it fallout or is it people alarming themselves?
A lot of stuff going on.
Okay.
A lot of things to talk about regarding UFC 246. Let's get into
Dude, they've been talking about so much stuff that really has nothing to do with anything.
UFC 246, McGregor versus Cowboy, happened at the Las Vegas Metropolitan Arena this past weekend on the 18th. Let's get into this. Let's start at the bottom of the card. We'll work our way through. As the stuff comes up, we will interject and add some things to talk about. So we have Sabina Mazo gets the win over JJ Aldrich with a split decision. Alexa Kamur gets the win over Justin Ledet. On your prelim card on ESPN, Drew Dauber gets the win over Nasarat Haprakasat.
Dude,
TKO punches in the first round. Dana White at the press conference, very critical of the reffing of this fight, thinking it needed to be stopped sooner. Do you agree with Dana? I know you like to see fights to the death. You want to see them until they're just like flopping around, not moving.
Yeah.
But do you think it was a little early, or do you think it was a little late stoppage? He's saying Dana White believes it was a little late of a stoppage.
You're never going to satisfy everybody, but it did go a little bit longer than it should have.
A couple extra punches?
Maybe.
A couple extra punches?
I don't think that anybody was in danger.
All right.
Do you?
There's a couple in there that I was like, you don't need those. Like, he's done. You got Askarov gets the win over Tim Elliott that was a war, man. That was a great fight. Unanimous decision for Askar. You got Sadiq Youssef gets the win over Andre Touchy Feely. The power of Uriah Faber on his leg did not help him in this fight.
I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it, Feely.
You didn't get the feelings from him?
No.
You weren't feeling touchy?
He lost, though.
You weren't getting touchy?
I can't argue.
Roxanne Modafferi gets the win over Macy Barber, derailing the
Why did we bet on this one?
Dude,
1,000
I saw 1,000 to 1 odds. Yeah, that's crazy. A veteran like Roxy, given those odds.
If we'd have bet a nickel, we'd have had $1 million.
Yeah, something like that.
Isn't that how it works?
Couple things. Everyone was shocked that a doctor went in there and felt her leg and was like, it's torn ACL. Everyone's like, it's a human MRI machine. What's going on?
No.
How does she? Well, because there is a test that doctors can do by moving the muscle and tendon and moving the leg. It's called the drawer test because your leg moves like a drawer. And when it does not, they know that it's a possible or a full ACL tear. However, she decided to continue fighting. Loses the decision, and then interrupts Roxy's post-fight, man.
I would just like to point out, too, the doctor didn't tell her, you have to keep fighting.
No, not at all.
Told her it may be partially torn.
You have a partially torn ACL.
Yeah.
Yeah. She got up and continued to fight.
Right. He didn't tell her, no, you could keep fighting. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. None of that. Dana White was over there being like, you're still going to fight.
I like the memes where it's like, she's like, so what is it? Dana says you're okay.
Yeah.
But I mean.
Keep going.
Right. Keep going. Everybody was chanting that. Keep going.
I didn't like the fact that she interrupted Roxy and decided to kind of steal her moments and talk about, I had a tough road and my leg and blah, blah. It's like, it's not, you didn't win.
You didn't exactly.
If Joe comes to you and talks to you after, that's fine, but not right now.
But she's not the first.
This is real.
And she's not the last.
And Roxy was so nice and just was kind of like,
At least her whole team didn't come over and beat up Roxy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, we've had that happen.
So Roxanne Murphy gets the win. Of course, then Macy's dad going on Instagram saying
that's a horrible look in any sport.
Macy would have won, and that she was winning that fight, and all this kind of stuff. And I like Roxy's response was, all dads are going to be proud of their daughters.
Yeah.
So I mean, good for him.
This is the first time, and go find it on Ariel. Madafri was shit talking, but nicely. You got your main card. This was going down on ESPN Plus again on the pay-per-view. Carlos Diego Ferreira gets the win over Anthony Pettis. Rear naked choke in round 2. Brian Keller gets the win over Ode Osborne. Guillotine choke in round 1. Aleksei Oleinik gets the win over Mo Green. Submission armbar round 2. Becomes the first fighter to fight in 4 decades. Not the last. We got this whole year to get through.
I know, but he was the first because it just happened to be the first card that was out there. Nice little stat check, Mark. You know what I mean?
He's not the last. He's
kind
not
of
the
cool.
last.
Fabricio Verdum, obviously after snitching people out, wants to talk. Wants his next opponent. He called out Oleinik online. That was very cool. Holly Holm gets the win over Raquel Pennington in a unanimous decision. Is this redemption for Holly Holm?
I didn't feel it.
No?
I mean, she did work. She did what she's supposed to do. But I don't think this is the last 2 fights have been like the Raquel Pennington of old. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I think she's had better fights. I don't know. I think she's just trying to get through her contract. Raquel is. Holly Holmes is. I mean, she's changing all the time. She's changed the way she looks. She's changed her style of fighting. Yeah. And then Raquel just comes in there and it's just been the same fight.
And then you have your main event. Conor McGregor defeats Donald Cowboy Cerrone in 40 seconds. Locked him up in the clinch, standing clinch. You need your hat?
I need my hat.
You need your hat. Okay, hold on.
Okay, hang on.
Let's get that down in there.
Get my hat.
Stick that over there.
There we go.
In 40 seconds, gets him in a standing clinch.
It was fixed. It was a fixed fight.
We'll get to that.
Cerrone came in there and he just laid down. He totally wanted his nose broken 25 seconds. That's what he wanted.
That's what he wanted?
That's what he wanted.
Because he got his money.
Yes, swear to God.
Millions of dollars.
He said, Conor told him, I'm going to put a shoulder right in the middle of your nose, break it, and then that's when you're going to go down. You'll know the sign.
You'll know the sign.
He did.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Alex Jones told me.
Oh, okay.
Not the one on TV, but the guy who lives down the street from me.
Got it.
Okay.
I do like, locked him up in a clinch, used shoulder strikes to get him to separate, hit him about 5 times, ended up breaking his nose. That's when Cerrone said he kind of stepped back, and immediately Conor hit him with the head kick, something he'd been practicing, he said, for months, because he wanted to head kick Cerrone because he saw how many head kicks Cerrone has.
Right.
Stumbled Cerrone, followed up very well. A lot of punches up against the cage. Cerrone rolled a few times, but it just was a big rush, which is something we talked about in the podcast last week.
If it's going to be done, it's going to have to be done fast.
It's going to be in a rush.
And right? I told you, not a chance in hell.
And I said, you know what? That Cowboy has problems with fighters that bull rush him and keep the pressure on. And that's exactly what happened. Conor hit him, did not give him any time to recover, just kept going, got the win. Yeah, pretty crazy. The shoulder strikes, for those of you who maybe don't watch the sport as often or maybe just don't remember, it's not something new.
You just said casuals.
It's not something new, okay? Nate Diaz, John Jones, Spencer Fisher, all these guys have been doing shoulder strikes for a long time. This is, however, one of the first times I've seen it do significant damage.
Whoa.
I've seen it surprise guys. I've seen it kind of push them back. But to break the nose, I mean, Conor definitely got some leverage. He was leaning
4 times. He got
dipping,
good leverage.
Like it looked like he dipped, like he was going to go for a takedown, and instead used it as a strike.
Right.
Which I think confused Cerrone, and I'll give him that. That was pretty cool.
No, the second one is the one that broke his nose, right?
Yeah.
So after the broken nose, everything else is out the window. You can't see. You suddenly can't breathe. You have liquid going down your throat. You know what I mean?
It was pretty
Anybody
crazy.
who's broke their nose knows what happens. It's almost like being kicked in the nuts. It's like, you're okay. And
you're
man,
not.
you're not okay.
Anybody that is saying this fight is fixed, just stop listening right now.
No,
stop listening.
I want you to listen.
If you think it's fixed, stop. You shouldn't be watching MMA. Just get out.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah, it's not WWE.
If you know Cerrone, you know that would never be a thing.
No.
He's never going to fix a fight. It's not going to happen. It's just, you're just as bad as Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah.
And if you're Stephen A. Smith,
dude,
stop
I'm gonna stop right
watching
now.
MMA.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Stop commentating on MMA.
There's nobody
There is
watching.
a petition online. I signed it. I put it up on our Facebook right now. You can sign a petition to have the talking head that is Stephen A. Smith to works for ESPN to never be a commentator for a UFC event again. Joe Rogan said he was extremely uncomfortable with the conversation that was being had. Stephen A. Smith said that it was disgusting. I think he is disgusted with Cowboy Cerrone, and that Cowboy Cerrone gave up, and that he was didn't even land a strike, and he was not a well-versed fighter. I think that's a little harsh, and again, I think most MMA fans immediately were like, "What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
Right.
Just stop talking. You're just as bad as Skip Bayless talking about MMA right now."
I don't know. Skip Bayless was pretty bad.
Both of them, man. Just stop.
When there time that Sterling Sharp tried to talk about.
We have plenty of qualified people to be on the UFC, to be on a post show, to be on ESPN talking about MMA, that we do not need casual fans like Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless getting their 5 minutes of fame to talk about the UFC.
We have
In a
unqualified
sport
people
they
who
know
will know
nothing
better.
about. It was an embarrassment, in my opinion, to have ESPN have Stephen A. Smith go out there. I understand he's a big personality, but I'm not the only one roasting him. You can go on Twitter,
Right.
You can go online,
Right.
and all the forums. Every single fan I saw out there, not a single person agrees with Stephen A. Smith. Not a single A person thinks that
Right.
he should be talking about MMA. Again, the petition is out
But
there.
outside of MMA, Stephen A, he is ESPN.
I know
You know what I mean?
I know.
It's hard.
it is hard.
But I mean, it's just like the UFC having to welcome back Shale because he was part of ESPN.
Yeah,
You know what I
but
mean?
still, Stephen A. Man, at least Chael's fought.
No, I
At least
get
Chael
it.
has experience.
Yeah, but there's also times when Shale's talking. It's like
And then I love
nails
that
on chalkboard.
whoever released that footage of Stephen A. doing his boxing training.
He didn't.
Like 2 days later.
He didn't.
I don't know who released it.
I think
Someone
he
got a
put
hold
it
of
out. No, I think he put it out a while ago, thinking that it looked good and not thinking it would ever be used against him. But we're in
looks
cancel culture, baby. People save stuff, download stuff, and they put it on a thumb drive and they mark it and they put it in a locker, and then now your name's there. They just brought up some tweets that Mahomes made when he was like 12, right?
He's still not 12?
Mahomes,
looks very young.
Mahomes is 24.
He looks
Mahomes
young,
is
man.
24.
He looks young. ESPN, if you were watching ESPN at the time of this fight going on, this is the first time I've ever seen this happen. ESPN paused all their regular programming to show you the Conor McGregor walkout live.
And give you the chance to buy it.
And give you the chance to buy it.
yeah.
Information across. I've never seen that before. Dana White claims, number one, and I agree with him, I've never seen that before. I've never seen ESPN push an event so hard.
They were smart.
Push an event so hard, and that he feels it was the biggest numbers they've seen since joining with ESPN, especially on a streaming platform.
I would agree with that. I would agree that it's probably more people want to be part of this show since it's been under the ESPN wing.
As Conor McGregor as the main event.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I would agree. I had more people hit me up personally, know that I'm in an MMA, know that I do a podcast, asking, how do I get this fight? Where can I watch this fight? Who's showing the fight? How does the ESPN Plus thing work that they're having to figure out? I have more text messages than I have for any fight, I probably say, in the last 5 pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Maybe 8 pay-per-views.
And Miami News partnered with the UFC and sold like $7 million.
They sold it. They had a bunch
It
of
was a
clicks.
lot. Isn't that the number I seen, Eric? You
bunch
guys
of clicks,
sold $7 million. And we get a
also,
percent of that, right?
Dave Meltzer
As a
came
show
out
for
just
Miami
recently.
News?
He claims 2 million buys.
Who says this?
Dave Meltzer, based on his metrics and his numbers and how he decides how he can figure out things. However, obviously we talked about it the week before, Dana White refutes all of Dave Meltzer's numbers, says that they're not anywhere close. Sometimes they were close, but a lot of times
But if
they
Dave
weren't.
says $2 million, he's going to go, you know what? Dave's close. He's in the ballpark.
But he's saying, based on the metrics, a bunch of people online were again, now that we know that the numbers may have been inflated or not inflated, and that he didn't really have any direct numbers.
So if it really does 2 million, I mean,
it puts it in that top. I mean, I have that list right
Cowboys,
there.
because Cowboys got to get pay-per-view points off that, right? So, I mean, if it does more than 1 million,
you would help. Hold on, let's see. We are at.
So it would be number 7.
It would be within the top 3 best pay-per-views
if it does over 2 million.
Yeah, because Khabib versus Conor, apparently Khabib versus Conor did 2.4, and they're saying it did just under that.
Okay,
so it could be number 2, the number 2 or number 3 most bought UFC in history.
Sweet,
that's what they're claiming.
Wrap it up,
even with the double payroll. If you want to talk about the paydays. Immediately before the fight, before we did the show, Conor McGregor got a reported $3 million
just for showing up
for his. No, that was win and purse.
Okay.
Cowboy Cerrone made $200,000.
Okay.
He would have got an extra $200 if he would have won.
Right.
We do know Conor got a $50,000
fight night bonus.
That was reported. However, that does not include pay-per-view numbers. That does not include extra random bonuses that they hand out. We do know from the lawsuit paperwork, if you dig through those things, there are fighters that were making 3% of pay-per-view buys when they were at the top of the food chain.
Oh, wow.
Or 1% or 3% after so many buys, after 250 to 350 to 500,000 buys.
$70 times 2 million.
Uh-huh.
What's that? That's
a lot.
It's 140 million. That's 140 million. So then let's say 3% of that.
1 point. I mean, even if it's 1%, it's 1.4 million, right?
Yeah. So 4.2 million.
4.2 just for pay-per-view numbers.
That's not bad.
Now, while I see Conor McGregor obviously making significant amounts of money, I do not see him reaching that 80 million mark unless those sponsorships were really good.
Right.
They would have been really good.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, look how many. I mean, he's got that new thing where he comes out as a toy. You know,
we also have things like there were due to the lawsuit paperwork, we're able to find out things like Lyoto Machida was given a $50K bonus for every knockout or submission that he got on top of his regular win, on top of his purse, on top of pay-per-view points. They would just give him bonuses. There was again in the lawsuit paperwork, we saw that Frank Mir was getting $1 million extra just for beating Brock Lesnar the first time he came out. That's not including something that they reported. This is something later. This is how they shuffled their money.
What do we call it? Locker room money?
Yeah, locker room money. Bonuses, yes. Yeah. Non-reported bonuses. So, also, Conor McGregor, because of this win, moves up in the rankings in 3 places. He moves 2 spots up in the pound for pound to number 11. He moves up 1 spot in 150, or excuse me, 1 spot in 155 ranking. Think about this. 1 spot in 55 rankings, making him number 3. He jumps Justin Gaethje, which I don't understand because the bout wasn't at 155.
Right.
And he is added to the 175 pound.
Are these the new ones now?
This is but hold on, I'll get to that.
Okay.
And he was added to the 170 pound rankings. He's now number 14 at 170 pounds.
So he's in 2 classes.
He's in 2 classes. He's not the only guy. You got Henry Cejudo, you got Daniel Cormier. There's a couple other guys that have been in multiple weight classes.
But I'm talking about champs that defended a belt.
Yes, those are champs that have defended a belt, and Conor McGregor has not yet.
Okay.
However, these are not the new rankings according to what we've been told. We have been told that there is a new panel, that this weekend they got an opportunity to check in to the panel, make changes, make rankings. Those are not what's being displayed here. These are still the old panel making these rankings.
Right.
Okay. I was talking to a couple, or at least one person that was part of the new rankings. They said that this is basically like a test run to make sure that everyone could log in and that everyone follows suit. I do believe they will be cutting people who did not make rankings, did not make changes,
couldn't follow directions.
I think that's what's going to happen when the new rankings come out.
You think they'll let new people in those spots, maybe?
I don't know. When those rankings come out, believe me, I will be posting who is going to be your new ranking people, because we have talked about the guys who are currently in it and they are not doing that great of a job. I am fine.
But are we still going to be able to badmouth them if we don't believe them?
Yeah,
even if we know.
Always. Okay. I am okay with the 170 pound ranking having Conor being added to number 14 at the bottom of the rankings because it was his first major fight at 170. Besides
but his fights in 170 aren't legitimate fights in 170. He's not in there to compete as a 170. He takes a 155er and he goes and fights 170. That's why he fought Diaz at 170. He fought that.
Cowboy.
He just fought Cowboy at 170.
He is saying he wants to go between 155 and 170. He wants to fight in both weight classes, similar to Henry Cejudo.
No, he wants 170 as an exhibition weight. That's what he wants. That's his safety weight. 170 is his, I can go fight, and if I lose, it shouldn't hurt my ranking in 155.
I agree with that. But at the same time, he also has aspirations. He wants to be a guy that will eventually fight, Usman, Kamar Usman.
I have aspirations to be a 135er. Can I get in there?
I think you can do it.
Can I?
I'd like to see you cut weight.
Yeah? I don't think so.
You talk about post-fight press conference. There's a lot to unfold here. Obviously, there are a lot of options for Conor McGregor after this fight. This win was a big win for him and a big win for the UFC. The biggest thing that we have to come out of these, I have some things here. Khabib versus Tony is supposed to happen in April.
Right.
Conor McGregor himself, not anybody else, Conor McGregor himself believes that this fight will not happen because somebody will pull out to injury. It has happened 4 times before. Yeah. It's not something that's out of the realm.
The odds are in favor.
He is going to stay ready, and whoever falls out, he will slide in. That is his goal. Dana White, when they asked him about this, said, I'm all for that.
But here's the deal. If Khabib falls out, they're fighting for
interim belt.
Interim belt.
Yes.
So I see Khabib falling out.
If Khabib falls out, he will fight for an interim belt against Tony Ferguson. If Tony Ferguson falls out, he will have the Khabib versus Conor rematch.
It should be for an interim belt.
For the regular belt.
It should be for an interim
Khabib
belt.
Khabib has the belt.
It doesn't. They should fight at 170 then.
No. He says if the fight does happen, if Tony Khabib does go on in April, he does not want to wait for a title shot. Now, he wants to be in the running for the title shot. He wants another fight in the meantime. He wants to fight somewhere in between. Somewhere between whenever, if Tony Khabib happens in April, he wants a fight between April and when he's guaranteed a title shot.
Right, because, okay, again, from Formlandia. So he has said already, and his coach has said that he wants to fight 3 or 4 more times this year.
Yes, at least 3 times this year.
Okay, and so in Formlandia is because he feels now that he's beat Cowboy that he wants to take on that type of a schedule where he fights a lot.
I'd be all right with that.
Right.
I will say, after this fight, after how he held himself the week of and the week after, his post-fight comments, anything like that, I could be a Conor McGregor fan.
Oh, you could overlook the other thing.
Hold on.
You're in a
wait. I could be a Conor McGregor fan if he would be like he was when he first started. When he first started, we talked about this. Even you liked it. I look back and listen to the podcast. When he first came onto the scene, he called out the division. Everybody, you're too old, you're too young, you're too fat, you're too slow. I just want to take on all comers. We were like, this is a guy who is trying to open doors for himself. And then we started getting into the personality that was notorious Conor McGregor, where he started causing controversy. Talking about someone's wife, women, religion, building into a fight. I talked about this to a friend of mine online. Should never be involved in shit talk. I'm fine with shit talk. Do not assault anybody before the fight. You don't need to talk about their wife, their children, or their religion.
Right.
Outside of that, outside of his extracurricular smashing of fans, the 2 alleged cases.
So things that happen outside of the ring, we can get past. So when Crazy Horse gets out,
no. I'm saying even then, I may not like you as a person.
No. What about War Machine? When War Machine gets out,
no. I'm saying if these things come forward, if they are true, obviously it's not somebody I'm going to be rooting for.
Right.
But as a fighter right now,
100%,
I am on board with the way he's going about things much more than he was before.
Right.
That's what I'm going for.
Right. But what we're getting now is a direct response to how everybody was treating him for being an ass bag.
Yeah, I think he also, there was a lot of talk this week about how he's a family man now. He's changed. He's got 2 kids.
He's sober 3 months now.
He's been sober for a while. You know what I mean? Like, we'll see if this actually is a change or if it's just a change for the show to get people back on his side. We'll see. Time will tell, right?
Right.
Time will tell. Dana White went on for about an hour and a half, maybe only 45 minutes. I don't know. It started when Dana talks. Sometimes it just starts to drag out. He went on and on about how Khabib versus Conor 2 will be the biggest UFC pay-per-view in the history of UFC pay-per-view, and that is the fight that he is pushing to make. He did say, however, he will not do it in Russia, regardless of what Conor thinks, because there were talks of basically like pay-per-view issues and lack of money at the gate. He doesn't think it's going to do well for them in Russia.
The exchange rate's not good.
I just don't know what it is. Even Conor was disappointed. However, Dana said this needs to happen in a stadium somewhere. He is talking the UK. He's talking there in Vegas at the brand new Raider Stadium.
Australia.
He's talking Australia. He's talking in Dublin. He wants a stadium, 80, 90, 100,000 people stadium.
Yeah.
For Conor versus Khabib 2, and that is the fight that he is pushing hard for. Everybody asked about all these other options, which I'm about to get into, and he was like, no, Khabib versus Conor is the fight to make. And they were like, aren't you overlooking Tony?
Right.
What if Tony
my
wins?
thing. That's my thing.
And he says, well, if Tony wins, Conor's going to fight Tony. That's fine.
But will that fight be in a stadium?
But that fight won't be in a stadium. No, that's what I think. Conor McGregor himself talked about what options are at 170. Right now, Dana White is pushing for Jorge Masvidal to fight Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman says, again, we talked about this last week, that Jorge is a number 6 fighter. He's not worthy of the title shot. He was willing to wait for the Woodley versus Edwards winner. Leon Edwards came out this week and said that he has been told if he beats Tyron Woodley, he is guaranteed a title shot. We don't know if that's true. There's also rumors. You have to also remember that while Usman is waiting for this Woodley Edwards winner, he's already beat both guys.
Okay.
I don't know what the story is there. I don't know. There's to me that you're not going to be getting me excited about Usman versus Woodley or Edwards just because of that.
Right.
I think he should fight Jorge. He does not want to fight Jorge. However, Dana is going to be pushing for that. Rumor has it Usman is currently injured, and Jorge Masvidal's manager is pushing for a Conor versus Jorge bout for an interim title.
Well,
at 170.
So is that the fight that's going to happen if Conor doesn't get what he wants and can't fight Khabib?
Or you mean slide in if one of those guys come out? I don't know. I don't know what's else going on. I will say that Usman has his own issues. If you were following it along with Twitter on the night of the fight, Kamaru Usman.
But he's not the first. He's not the first to be hacked.
Twitter
on
got hacked. He had some very disparaging marks to say about Conor and Conor's wife, including using the N-word about a bunch of other fighters. His bank account information got put on his Twitter.
What?
His PIN number got put on Twitter.
I missed that part.
Allegedly, his bank account got drained.
Oh.
It is a big deal. Kamaru Usman has a lot of big things that he is going to be needing to deal with before he's even talking about a new bout.
Wow.
I feel bad for Kamaru Usman.
I had not heard the bacon issue.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
There's screenshots.
I just seen people.
It went out.
Yeah. I seen.
It was crazy.
Was it Ali Abdazi saying stuff? And then everybody was saying, it sounds like him talking.
The first post where he just said something like, I think I have it here, that Irish punk or something along those lines, sounded something like Ali would have said.
Right.
So let's see. I can grab it here real quick.
And I think that was a direct quote from Conor too. He goes, I don't know.
He doesn't.
He goes
believe.
when you read it at the first. He goes, when you read it at the first. He goes, it sounds like that weasel. He goes, but after, I don't know. He goes, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Let's see if I can find it. I know I had it here.
It was some rough stuff, man.
Oh, dude, it was some pretty.
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah. Talking about running trains and.
Oh yeah.
It was bad.
But the first thing that he said is, again, they said, sounds like, here we go. The first one was, let's be real, my man, Notorious MMA is a fucking Irish punk who won't be winning.
Right.
Let's go, Cowboy. They were saying that sounds like something Ali would have said and posted on Kamar's account, which, if you know anything about Ali's management style, he has had access to a bunch of his fighters' Twitter accounts, and he does make comments trying to push fights and trying to cause some controversy.
And this isn't the first time that we've heard that management has the ability to get it. Yeah, Cyborg, right? Yep. Wasn't her manager saying stuff on her behalf? Then it started
going out really bad about his wife and all these other things. So Dana White said he had to call Conor.
It got horrible.
Call Conor and tell him, hey, look, this is not him. His account got hacked. Please don't, retaliate. And he just said, well, we'll find out.
I don't know how much. I don't know how much.
Moving on there. So Jorge versus Conor. Most people online, I've seen polls on MMA Junkie, My MMA News, MMA Uncensored, all these sites. Everybody seems to want, I even put one up ourselves. Everybody seems to want Jorge Masvidal versus Conor McGregor. I think this is a smart money fight. Yeah. You need to strike while the iron is hot.
Right.
And Jorge Masvidal is a hot ticket right now.
But it'll kill if he loses to Jorge. it's going to kill the pay-per-views to watch Conor fight Khabib.
Oh, I agree. I don't think we need to watch Conor versus Khabib anyway. He's just going to get choked out and lose.
Right.
We've seen what happens. I don't think it's going to change.
Yeah.
No matter how long it is.
And people say Conor outstanded up him. I don't believe so.
No. I think most people, and I agree with this, the big money fight is Jorge Masvidal versus Conor McGregor. Jorge Masvidal was at Conor's fight wearing the Versace robe that Conor McGregor worked out in against his Floyd Mayweather when they did the workouts.
Right.
And he's like, what is that idiot doing in a robe? So when somebody later in the press conference is like, oh, he was kind of doing a shout out to you because you wore that same robe. And he's all, I know, but why? And I kind of agree with Conor. Like, Masvidal, you looked good in the robe, bro, but why?
Did he have Huarache sandals on too?
He had the Versace, the whole outfit, bro. Like, awesome. And he just wore the robe. He didn't have anything underneath it. Like, why?
Did he have banana hammock on?
I don't know.
Come on.
I do
People want to know, Dodge.
Wait. I do know that thirsty ass Jessica UFC fighter, put up on her Twitter, damn, Masvidal looking good in that robe. If you need someone to help you take it off, I live in Vegas. Hit me up.
Whoa.
Shoot your shot, bro.
There you go.
Shoot your shot.
There you go.
So maybe Jessica I knows.
And that was our entertainment reporter, Brandon Dodge.
Ask Jessica I if she knows what was underneath that robe. Maybe she knows. We don't know.
We're officially doing gossip. What a tramp.
That was a little Therese Owens action.
What a tramp.
Yeah, man. So I don't know. I think they need to capitalize on the money right now in the hot ticket item. Conor McGregor obviously likes the BMF title, says he wants to add it. Jorge Masvidal said he'd be willing to put it up as collateral, just as a fun bout. Like, let's make this happen, a money fight. He says he wants that fight to happen.
Go into your garage, find a belt, bring it. Let's fight for it.
I think that's the fight to make. Conor is down for. It's seen at the press conference. He seemed pretty. I'm pretty much open to all fights right now. When asked about the Nate Diaz fight, they mentioned that to him. He said,
"Dollars make sense."
Yeah, he said, "I'm open to that fight anytime, Nathan. Anytime. You want that fight?
Yeah, and then Nate mouthed off a couple days later, and he goes, "Let's run it, brother."
Yeah,
come anytime, brother.
I feel like Conor says, and he flat out said that fight's always going to be there. I will always want the trilogy.
See, but like I'm hearing from our side of town is that Nate is telling people, I'm never going to give him that third fight.
I think it's unless it's big dollars,
$100 million.
He wants
like what Khabib wants.
Khabib's dad wants.
Yeah,
Khabib's dad wants $100 million. I mean, I don't know. I would love to see Nate fight. I think the Nate fight happens under this circumstance. Are you ready? Jorge Masvidal and Conor McGregor don't fight. Dano says, no way, it's Usman versus Masvidal. We already have it booked. They're both healthy. Okay? Khabib and Tony actually happen in April. Nobody calls out. Now what's Conor going to do? He doesn't have the Jorge fight. He doesn't have an Usman fight. He doesn't have the Khabib-Tony fight. That's when he slips in and goes, let's make some money, call up Nate, offer him whatever. We're going to run with this.
Wait till Nate's drinking tequila.
Trilogy's going to happen.
On a yacht outside of San Diego.
Selling CBD.
Somewhere.
Also out there in the random land, you have Pacquiao and Mayweather.
Random land?
Pacquiao and Mayweather both posting teaser posters.
Speaking of thirsty people.
Yeah, posting teaser posters with McGregor as their opponent.
And this is something I want to talk about too. In this week that you people are pointing out how many people want to fight Conor McGregor now that he won, let's look back to the 6 weeks prior to every time somebody won a fight, thirsty-ass Conor McGregor was tweeting him up, talking about, let's do it.
Let's do it.
All these fighters who you say are seeking him out, go watch the 6 or 7 weeks prior. Every time they want to fight, who was asking them?
Yeah, he was talking about Max Holloway.
Everybody.
He was talking about Pettis. He was talking about
and I
Frankie.
get it.
He was talking about anybody, right?
MMA Land's memory is 48 hours. I get it.
Yeah, so Conor claims that he had a fight set up with Manny Pacquiao and that it's still in the works and that it will happen eventually. He also says the same thing with Floyd, even though it's not going to be MMA, it is going to be boxing. Again, Pacquiao and MMA's camps both sent out posters showing Conor as the opponent. We don't know. I mean, Floyd also put up a poster saying that him and Nurmagomedov, Khabib are going to fight.
Right.
So is it real? We don't know. Do I think Conor will box either one of them? He claims at some point, maybe. That yes, it'll happen eventually.
Yeah. Or like you say, the Zuffa
boxing. Maybe it'll be an exhibition
170, 155, one whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what ends up happening.
The turn your
that
dial
is UFC
weight.
246. Let us know what you guys think down in the comments below or on the Facebook when this gets posted. Who do you think Conor McGregor? Who are you most interested in seeing Conor McGregor fight? Would you like to see Nate Diaz?
Are you even interested in Conor McGregor?
Kamaru Usman, Jorge Masvidal, Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, and anybody that we haven't listed. Put it out there. Let's see what you think. I think Conor McGregor does need to continue to fight and soon to keep his stock growing and going. I'm interested.
Yeah, he only fought 40 seconds. I mean, what does he got to get ready for? I don't know why he's not fighting somebody in 3 weeks.
He said he's ready in March. He'll be ready in March. He likes that date. He wants that to happen. UFC Fight Night, Blades versus Dos Santos. UFC Fight Night 166. UFC Fight Night, Raleigh. UFC on ESPN Plus 24 is happening.
Man, that's a lot of stuff.
That's a lot of stuff. It's going down on Fight Pass, or excuse me, on ESPN Plus. So you know that thing you had to sign up for to watch this McGregor fight? You still have it.
You got it.
You now can watch these ones.
Use it.
I mean, unless you somehow got a stream somewhere.
Yeah.
You won't be able to watch this unless you find that stream.
Okay, Brendan Schaub. Would you stop, Big Brown?
It's over there on Reddit. It's called redditfreestreams.com/UFC best fights.
Oh, man.
Anyway.
I can't believe he got a bunch of people busted.
Dick.
And guess what? Streams still happen.
Streams still happen.
Yeah.
Herbert Burns going up against Nate Landwehr. Brett Johns going against Tony Gravely. Sarah McMahon going against Lena Landsberg. Montel Jackson going against Philippe Colares. Justine Kish going up against Lucille Padova. Hopefully there's no poop incident.
Hey,
I don't forget. My 48 hours is still there.
Yeah.
Arnold Allen going against Nick Lentz. Bevan Lewis against Daquan Townsend. That is on ESPN Plus and your prelims. Your main card still on ESPN Plus. Don't even have to change the channel. Get to just continue to watch it.
You may.
Not on ESPN Plus.
Maybe.
It's streaming.
It's ESPN. I'm not putting anything past him.
Wow. Jamal Hill going up against Darko Stosic. Hannah Surfer is going against Angela Hill.
Here's the other thing too. I've noticed with ESPN. If there's nothing going on in ESPN that like say a game ended early, there's a possibility you might see this on regular ESPN, even if it's 1 or 2 fights. Just
throw them in there. To kill time.
Yep.
Jordan Espinoza going up against Alex Perez. Rafael Dos Anjos going up against Michael Chizia. And your main event, Junior Dos Santos coming back to fight Curtis Blades. I got Blades in this fight.
I got Blades. He has to win.
He has to, right?
Otherwise, it brings up a lot of questions if he loses. And again, it's not because I'm against Dos Santos. I'm just saying for this fight to work out right for Curtis, he has to win. And I think almost like in a knockout.
Big fashion?
Yeah.
Has to be big
has
fashion.
to be big fashion, yeah. To make a difference. Because if this goes all the way out, I mean, it looks better on JDS than it looks on him.
Fair enough.
Agree? You agree?
I agree.
All right.
I agree. And then we have Bellator going on. What is that? Is that today? Is that tomorrow? What's today?
What's today? Where's it at?
This is going on tomorrow.
Okay.
This is going down in the forum.
Inglewood?
It's only on DAZN. I'm sorry. The Zone.
Bring your gat. I'm just telling you.
Whoa. You can't tell people to do that.
What? I didn't say pistol or gun.
This is on DAZN. You have to subscribe to this thing. You also can get some boxing bouts, apparently.
Inglewood's
scary. If you have DAZN and other sports activities. Your main card, you got Sergio Pettis making his... Is this his Bellator debut?
I think this is his first one, yeah.
I think this is his Bellator debut. I'm a little shocked and awe. I forgot that he got cut. This is his Bellator debut. Sergio Pettis going against Alfred Khazan. Darren Caldwell going against Adam Borix. And your main event, the fight of the night, Julia Budd defending her women's Bellator featherweight championship against Chris Cyborg, also making her debut for Bellator.
It's not a debut for Bellator.
It is. She fought in Strikeforce. That is different. Just because it was Scott Coker still having a fight organization on another organization's channel, it is Strikeforce. This is Bellator Force. That's different.
I thought she fought for Bellator.
No. This is her debut.
Go back. Let's just check.
Right there. Former Strikeforce Invicta UFC champion, Chris Cyborg.
Okay.
Making her Bellator Force debut.
They should just call it Coker MMA.
Coker MMA. That'd be amazing. Who are you taking in this fight? Julia Budd or Chris Cyborg? This is a fight I'm excited about. I have wanted to see this fight for a long time, actually.
I'm going to take Julia Budd. I want Julia Budd to win.
Yeah, I do too. She has not fight Chris Cyborg yet. She does have 2 losses on her record, Amanda Nunes and Ronda Rousey. early in her career. And in fact, her like 3-4 fights into her career, she has been doing very, very well.
How'd she lose to Rousey? What was the loss?
Armbar. Armbar, bro.
Why did she go away from those arm bars?
Because WWE was calling.
Damn it.
I would like to take Julia Budd in this fight. It's going to be really tough.
Yeah.
We'll see how.
But I'll be happy if Cyborg wins too,
I want
because
to see how she recovers from her loss.
yeah. I don't know. It's like I could take either way. I'm rooting for Julia Budd.
Rooting for Julia Budd.
Yeah.
That is it. That is your week of fights. Again, split decision brought to you by healthlabs.com. Fast, affordable blood work for MMA fighters. Healthlabs.com and fuegobox.com. Code word MMA News 10, right? MMA News 10?
MMA News 10.
Did I say that right? I'm going to make sure I get that because I got yelled at last time. MMA News 10. Make sure you get yourself some hot sauce. Sign up for the monthly box to get some amazing hot sauces delivered directly to your door.
Dependable solutions.
Sponsored by
Innovate the future of your business.
Walkie Craft, get yourself a man card, and of course, SynCal here at SynCal Industries. That is it. Have a good night. We'll see you at the fights.
Maybe if I figure out how to turn off
weird live stream.
YouTube.